Hey, Coach Devin here. I am here today with Jason Ward. Jason is our nutritional guru. Did I say that? Yeah, I said that right.
Yeah.
Guru. I felt like I was saying it wrong.
It's not an easy word to say, is it? That's,
yeah, it sounded a little weird there.
It's a weird word too.
He is our nutritional guru here at 360 Fit. This dude knows lots about food. If you want meal plans and that kind of stuff, this is a guy to talk to. Message us here, comment down below, whatever you want. Jason can hook you up. He knows his stuff. Today we are talking keto, which everybody's nowadays, it's like keto everything.
Oh my God, keto's everywhere.
It's like,
right
oh
now.
my,
Yeah.
there's so many, and
That's
my pet peeve for me, people online, like average guys, and they're like, I'm Keto Bob or Keto Kevin or whatever the hell your name is.
Yeah.
And not to rip anybody specifically, I've just seen so many of them on Instagram. I'm Keto Bob and I'm gonna teach you how to be keto.
Yeah.
And then 4 posts later, you're eating, I don't know, donuts. You're not keto. Stop saying you're keto. You're not keto.
Do they have keto donuts yet? I feel like they're making keto everything these days.
Keto.
I bet there's a keto donut. If anybody knows of a keto donut,
yeah,
like,
messages,
post it up below.
comment. We want to hear
would
about
love
the
to hear
keto
about
donut.
that.
If there's a keto donut. All right, so we're going to talk keto. What keto is first. I'm going to give away to Jason Ward. Jason knows his stuff. Jason,
All right.
fire. What is keto?
So keto, there's a lot of different veins of keto now. I really feel like, so like the real original keto was a very high fat, low to moderate protein, and like very few carbohydrates. Right?
Atkins.
So you're talking, like Atkins style, right? He kind of like repopularized it in the 90s for sure.
Yep.
But it's like 1930s, I think they started using it for epilepsy patients.
Yes, exactly.
To help deal with seizures. They found like people on high-fat diets had better cognition, and it was improving the mental symptoms, right? So like there's a lot more research on how that works now, right? It's fascinating, and I think like keto is evolving with the times, but there's also a lot of people trying to take your money.
Yes, there is lots of money.
So many different products.
Yeah.
So exogenous ketones.
Exactly.
Like I said, like keto donuts, maybe. I don't know. I've seen keto cookies and keto muffins.
Keto everything.
Oh, it's keto everything. Yeah.
So what keto is basically you're eating low enough carbs that you're in ketosis. And I don't want to throw out a bunch of big words because there's nothing I hate worse than trainers trying to pretend they sound smart and going, "This is your latimus dorsi here. Do you know what that is?" Nobody cares. It's your back. Stop doing that. So that's a pet peeve for me too, actually. I hate when people try to sound smarter than they actually are. Ketosis basically just means that your body burns fat and doesn't burn carbohydrates for fuel. Like how your body works is, and Jason, correct me if I'm wrong here, because I could screw it up, it's possible, he knows more than I do. Your body burns fat and carbohydrates in differing levels throughout the day depending on your energy system you're using.
Yes. So you really so ketosis, essentially the carbohydrates are so low your body needs to start producing ketones. Right? So ketones are just another form of energy that your body can utilize to fuel your brain, most specifically, because there are a lot of people who say that your brain will only operate on glucose, and that's actually not true.
It's not true.
Right? Ketones are an alternative fuel source for your brain. That's part of why your body will start producing them. Your liver will not use it. So any glucose that you need, your liver is going to uptake first.
Yes,
right?
Exactly.
So if you're not exceeding the level that your liver needs, then your body will start producing the ketones in order to allow the other functions in your body to work.
Yeah, so to get real basic, you can't eat carbohydrates.
Pretty much.
Basically. Like
everybody's level of carbohydrate that they can take in is going to be different, right?
But it's super low. So you can't have bread or rice or chips or whatever. Like none of that, that shit is off the table. You can't have it anymore. You can't eat, like Jason said, protein, high fat stuff.
Yeah. So you do need to, like a lot of times with most of the traditional keto diets, the fat intake is so high that you can't even eat most meats because they'll actually kick you out of ketosis. The only way that you can have some of those meats is to have additional fats with them. So that's just your butters. Bacon's usually a big thing in keto. And you just have to get your fats from somewhere. Right?
And a lot of times, some people like the idea of keto and ketosis in general because they get to eat a bunch of stuff that they would say, quote unquote, is bad for you, like bacon. And they go, I can eat bacon every day, 4 times a day. Okay, yes, you can.
But should you?
And should you, So it does, so the $1 million question right off the gun, does it work? Yes, it does. If you are in ketosis, and your calorie level is reasonable. So if you're in ketosis and you eat 1,000 calories more than you're supposed to eat, you will gain weight.
Yeah.
It is not a silver bullet, like bang and you're good. It doesn't work that way.
You cannot negate energy balance.
No.
It cannot happen.
You
calories
always
in, calories out.
Exactly. So if you burn more calories than you take in, you will lose weight. If you burn this roughly the same number of calories, you will stay where you are. And if you take in too many calories and you don't burn them off, you will gain weight. Yeah. That's how your body works, and every diet out there works that way. So
same principles.
Yeah. So being in ketosis and keto doesn't mean that it's a free-for-all on bacon 10 times a day, because yes, you will eat too much at some point, right? So there is that. So it's not a guarantee. Yeah. It does work if you eat within your calorie levels.
Absolutely.
And yes.
There are people who do find it's easier to stay within their calories eating in a ketogenic fashion.
Yep.
Because fats and proteins together are very satiating. So you eat them and you feel full.
You feel full.
You don't want to eat anymore.
For longer, too.
Yeah. Oftentimes it's combined with intermittent fasting.
Yep.
Because it just lends itself very easily to that. Because you're like, oh, I don't need to eat any more food. Like, I feel good. Right? One of my big issues with some of the traditional keto diets is that the protein is too low to really get that satiating effect. I also think that some people are chasing ketosis a little too much. Right? Like, you do have to understand that staying in ketosis permanently is not good for your body either. You don't want to do that. Periodically being able to move in and out of ketosis is actually what your body should be able to do. That's what we sometimes refer to now as metabolic flexibility, where you're able to shift from one energy source to another, like based on what you have available and what your body needs.
Yeah, and this is the thing, like with any diet that is extreme, and I would put ketosis in with all the other very extreme diets that cut a number of things out of what you're eating.
Yeah.
It is a lot of work. Whether or not you can fry up a pile of bacon and I don't know, smoked salmon or whatever the heck you're having, right? Yes, you can eat that stuff. Yes, you feel like you're cheating and you're getting away with something. But here's the deal: at the end of the day, it is still a lot of work, right? If you're not eating any vegetables, there is going to be an effect with that, right? And those are just facts. And if you don't eat a lot of carbohydrates, there's a certain feel with it. Having tried keto before and Atkins, etc., being in ketosis, I felt really stupid. Most people do.
You get that like first probably 2-3 weeks or so where people will report that they're like brain fog, or like what's sometimes referred to as the keto flu.
Yep.
And really, I think more of what that is actually electrolyte imbalance.
Yep.
So people are not getting enough sodium, potassium, magnesium, and their body's not functioning the way it's supposed to. Also, it takes time to shift into producing those ketones yourself.
Yep.
Once you get over that hump, a lot of people do find they have improved mental clarity. They can have like sustained energy through the day. This isn't true for everybody, all right? But there are people that report these side effects.
Yep.
And so like if you're one of those people who can do really well on keto, like you get into the ketosis very quickly and then you get that very stable mental clarity, that is fantastic for you. Yep. Right? But there are a lot of people that can't do that. And anybody who's going to tell you that they have the one right answer, you don't listen to that person
They're lying
anymore.
to you.
They're lying to you. They're trying to sell you something.
Yeah.
All right. There is not one right answer. As I've said in previous videos now, there is a lot of junk science.
Yeah.
Right? Doesn't tell us anything that we want to know.
At the end of the day, you have to remember that ketosis is hard. Being in ketosis is hard. Any significant strict diet is hard, and to change up what you're doing is tough. It is. I'll be honest. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I felt stupid, which I don't like. I don't think I'm all that smart in the first place, right? So I would prefer to feel somewhat more smart than dumb. So I didn't like that part of it. And honestly, all the fat, and I'm just not a fan overall. But then again, I like vegetables. I like nuts and fruits. You can't have any fruit. You can't have any that stuff is off the table. That sucks. For me, it sucked. I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah. And I mean, like, there's definitely, like I said earlier too, like there are different people who can handle different amounts of carbohydrate. It also depends on your activity level.
Yeah.
Right? Like you can get to a point where you're achieving ketosis, but still eating some carbohydrate. But everybody's level is going to be different. Yep. So like there could be some self-experimentation there. If you like the idea of keto and you want to try it, right? Then you can start with trying to keep those ratios, right, very, very low carbohydrate, and then gradually reintroduce some and see how you feel, right? That is actually how I did keto, and I still predominantly am keto, right? That's really impressive. More carnivore right now, but like it's kind of a similar idea. right? I definitely, eat a lot more protein now than a traditional keto diet would allow. But I find like I feel a lot better. My mental clarity is like spot on. I feel like I feel very smart right now.
It's good. At least one of us does, right? Somebody feels smarter around here. The other thing with keto, like with most diet things out there now, is they're trying to sell you something.
Absolutely.
There was a day, like I did a video a couple days ago about, back in the day you bought a book, and that's how they made their money. They sold you a book, it had a bunch of recipes, that's what you did. Nowadays, they realize that book is a one sale. I can sell you a lot of supplements on an ongoing basis and make way more money. So that's what happens now. So now there's keto, like we said at the beginning, there's keto everything. Go to the store and take a look. There's keto cookies, there's keto everything. Protein bars, I mean, they were Atkins bars before, but there's everything now. It's big money on keto.
Absolutely, because there's so many more people trying keto now because it's so mainstream, and it seems to me like it's actually sticking around a lot better than it did in previous iterations.
Yeah, I think it has. It has. I mean, their advertising is much better.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Again, my biggest concern with keto, and I don't like to rip any one diet because I know for some people like Jay, it works, right? It does work. My concern is for most people, they're not you, right? They're going to go, all right, I've had enough. I want to have chips, crackers, bread, rice, whatever. Yeah. And as soon as you do that, then you're out of, you're off the ketosis train. They kick you out, and then, then bad things happen, right? And that's where it concerns me because you can't screw. Once you're on that, you're going to do keto. You can't get off. It's not like, I'm going to get off today and get back on, because your body takes time to get back to that point.
Yeah, it's significantly faster if you only had, say, like one meal where you kind of left keto. If you did like a full weekend of not eating keto, it might take you a little bit longer to get back. Yeah. But, and again, everybody's different in how quickly they respond. So like, I like what Stan Efferding always says. It's like compliance is the science. So if you can stick to the diet, that's the right diet for you.
Exactly.
Right? And if you can't, then it's not. It's really that simple.
Like for Jason, a keto type diet works. Yeah. For me, I'm stupid and I can't do it, and I get shack wacky and I want to have pizza sometimes. And when I want to have pizza, that's going to wreck the keto. So then I get stressed and pissed off, and then it's not good for anybody, right? Nobody wins that one, and then I don't stay on keto. So keto is not the right choice for me, but in Jason's case, it is.
I think it also helps that I have a different mindset on keto now than most people who do keto, and that if I do leave ketosis, I'm not as concerned about it, right? Because I'm like, you actually don't want to be in a state of ketosis at all times. I want a degree of metabolic flexibility where my body will shift to burning fat when it needs to, shift back to eating carbs if they're available, right? Like utilizing whatever energy system is there or any sort of energy substrate, like if you're taking in carbs, your body uses carbs. If you're taking in fats, your body should be using fats, right? You want your body to be at that point where you can just shift between the energy systems whenever you need to.
The upshot of this is we're not going to rip keto, obviously. It does have a place. Like everything, every diet out there, scientifically, there's a point to it, right? You can do it. Yeah. It, again, not an easy one to follow necessarily. It's not always the easiest of the diet. It's not always the best diet for everybody. But for some people, it does indeed work. Yep. Just be smart about it. Understand that there's a lot of supplementation, a lot of money to be made on keto. So you can do keto without buying any supplements if you want. You don't have to buy the supplements. That's something just to keep in mind.
Supplements are meant to supplement.
They're
already
they're
solid
not
dietary plan.
Yeah, they eat food, guys. They're not food. They're supplemental to your food. That's why they call supplements. Yep. That's the whole point.
That is the entire point. Yeah.
All right, if you want to come in and try out a session with this guy, Jason Ward, comment, message us, text us, call us, whatever you want. This guy can help you out with all your nutritional planning. He knows his stuff. He really does. I know I brag about him a lot, but he's just smarter than I am, so I like to do that.
I read a lot.
He does. It's a good thing. Yeah. One of us has to be smart. It might as well be Jason. Have yourself an amazing day, guys. Don't fight the awesome.